Some friendships form in the most unexpected ways, and that perfectly describes the bond between Elton John and Princess Diana. Despite misunderstandings and challenges, their closeness never wavered. While Diana rarely spoke about their friendship, Elton always praised her. Recently, he revealed lesser-known details about the late princess, her wit, warmth, and charm that many never knew. But what exactly did he say? Stay tuned as we dive in. Their friendship began in 1981 at Prince Andrew's birthday party, where they instantly clicked, dancing the Charleston together for 20 minutes. Their relationship was full of adventure, but not without its complications. Elton had long-standing ties with the royal family, befriending Princess Margaret and even dancing with Queen Elizabeth II at Windsor Castle. But everything changed when Diana arrived. Her presence was magnetic. Elton later wrote that she made people feel completely at ease, had a wicked sense of humor, and was delightfully indiscreet. Their bond deepened over the years, with Elton performing for Diana at major events and sharing intimate moments behind closed doors. In a recent interview, he fondly recalled meeting a young, shy Prince Harry, who later grew to embody his mother's warmth and courage. From public events to private gatherings, Diana and Elton's friendship remained unshaken, a connection that endured even after her tragic passing. Elton John vividly recalled a tense evening at his dinner party when Diana and Richard Gere instantly connected, leaving Sylvester Stallone visibly irritated. As the night progressed, tensions escalated, and Stallone eventually stormed out in frustration. Through it all, Diana remained composed, either unaware or simply accustomed to such situations. This moment reinforced what John already knew. Diana had a mesmerizing effect on people, especially men. It wasn't just her beauty. There was something deeper, an intangible charm that left people captivated. But her true power lay in her humanity. John pointed to the famous photograph of Diana holding an AIDS patient's hand, a simple yet groundbreaking act that changed public perceptions of the disease. Despite her kindness, Diana's personal relationships were complicated. Even with John, their bond faced a serious strain in 1997 over a charity book, Rock and Royalty, which Diana had initially supported but later distanced herself from. Her sudden withdrawal left John feeling betrayed, especially after receiving a formal letter addressed to Mr. John. He worried she was isolating herself from those who told her the truth. Their friendship remained in limbo until Gianni Versace's tragic murder. That night, Diana called John unexpectedly, offering her condolences and apologizing for their rift. They reconciled, and soon after, Diana sat beside him at Versace's funeral, a moment captured in a now iconic photograph. Their renewed friendship led to plans for a charity lunch in London, but that meeting never happened. On August 31st, 1997, John was awakened by a fax delivering the devastating news. Diana had died in a car crash. Just weeks later, he stood at her funeral, performing Candle in the Wind, a tribute reworked to honor her memory. John later revealed the immense pressure of that moment. The entire world watched him for 4 minutes, but he knew it wasn't about him. It was about Diana. What struck him most was the heartbreaking sight of William and Harry, just 15 and 12, forced to walk behind their mother's coffin, expected to remain emotionless. He found it cruel and has since vowed to protect Harry from the same invasive press that plagued Diana. Years later, John continued to honor Diana's legacy, supporting her causes and standing by her sons. But what many don't know is that his emotional tribute at her funeral almost didn't happen. The royal family initially opposed Candle in the Wind, fearing it was too sentimental. Recently unearthed documents reveal that Westminster Abbey even had a saxophonist on standby to replace John if the performance was vetoed. However, Reverend Dr. Wesley Carr insisted that Elton's tribute was essential, calling it a bold moment symbolizing Diana's modern influence. And so, history was made. The performance became one of the most unforgettable moments in royal history, cementing Diana's legacy and John's unwavering devotion to his dear friend. As the tension mounted around Candle in the Wind at Diana's funeral, Reverend Dr. Wesley Carr made a compelling argument. He insisted that Elton John's tribute, deeply loved by Diana, would be the most fitting way to honor her. His new lyrics, set to the iconic melody, would resonate with millions mourning her loss. loss. Dr. Carr believed this was not just a performance, but a creative, heartfelt gesture for the grieving public. In the end, his case prevailed, and Elton's rendition became one of the most emotional and unforgettable moments in royal history. But who exactly is the man behind this powerful tribute? To understand Elton John's role in Diana's memorial, we need to explore the life of the musical icon who redefined what it means to be a legend. Born Reginald Kenneth Dwight on March 25, 1947, in Pinner, Middlesex, Elton John grew up in a council house as the eldest child of Stanley Dwight and Sheila Eileen. Raised by his maternal grandparents after his parents' marriage, Elton's early life was marked by a desire to break free from the confines of his upbringing. His parents tried to push him toward a more conventional career, but Elton had other plans. His flamboyant stage persona and larger-than-life performances became a way to escape the restrictive nature of his childhood. His musical talents were nurtured early on. His father was a trumpet player, and his mother and grandmother had a love for music, exposing him to the greats of the time. Elton began playing the piano at a young age, showing a natural aptitude for music. By age 7, he was already playing pieces by ear and performing at family events. His formal training began with piano lessons, and by the age of 11, he won a junior scholarship to the prestigious Royal Academy of Music. There, he was known for his remarkable ear, even playing Handel's work back after hearing it just once. Although Elton enjoyed his Saturday classes, he wasn't always the most disciplined student, often skipping lessons to explore London. Despite this, his natural talent shone through, and by the time he was ready to leave the academy, he was a gifted pianist and composer. Elton's relationship with his family was complicated. While his mother was vivacious and a free spirit, his father, uninterested and distant, left Elton to be raised mostly by his mother and grandmother. This strained family dynamic, especially the arguments between his parents, left a lasting impact on Elton's emotional landscape. From his early days as Reginald Dwight to becoming the global superstar we know today, Elton John's journey is one of resilience, creativity, and the pursuit of his own path in a world that tried to mold him into something he was not. Elton John's friendship with Princess Diana is one of the most remarkable and touching relationships in modern history. Their bond was built on mutual respect, shared values, and a deep understanding of each other's struggles. Diana, with her grace and compassion, and Elton, with his artistic talent and vulnerability, formed a unique connection. Their friendship wasn't just about the glitz and glamour of their public lives. It was grounded in real moments of kindness, support, and shared charity work. Elton was one of the few people who understood the weight of Diana's role and the personal challenges she faced, and she, in turn, appreciated his authenticity and commitment to causes close to his heart. Their shared charity work, especially in the fight against AIDS, demonstrated how they used their influence to make a difference in the world. The story of how Elton was able to reconcile with Diana after their brief fallout just before her tragic death only adds to the depth of their friendship. Their relationship wasn't without its complexities, but ultimately, it was built on love and understanding, making Elton's tribute to her, with Candle in the Wind, such a poignant moment for both of them and the world. Do you feel their friendship symbolized something bigger, beyond the personal? I'd love to hear your